Okay, you are probably here because you are interested in living in an RV. And more often than not, that means you are going to be researching. You are going to be trying to find out if this is a doable choice for you. You're going to be trying to find out if this is a reasonable choice for you, which is exactly what you need to be doing. Unfortunately, there's a lot of money to be made in selling Wanderlust. And when you sell Wanderlust, you sell ideas and dreams and the image of perfection. And a lot of times that means people that are actually trying to make this move into the RV life walk away from the content they're looking through feeling like they didn't really get a clear picture of what it actually was. I'm here to try to give you the clearest, most realistic image of this lifestyle that I can. My name is Amanda, this is Dusty Trail RV, and I've been living full-time in an RV for about the last 2 years. I do it a little differently because I traveled around a lot at the beginning, but now I am stationary. So my day job, I am a firefighter. That's a little different than traveling around and exploring and having that type of lifestyle. But this type of lifestyle has its advantages, and it also gives me the freedom that a lot of people like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything that I can think of that I wish somebody would have told me when I was in this position. So we'll just get started with going over introduction to full-time RV living. You have to make decisions to minimalize parts of your life that some people aren't prepared to minimalize, and this usually starts with downsizing. When you make the decision to go into an RV life, you have to separate yourself from the physical and material connections that you have, and you have to really look at some of these connections as perhaps being unhealthy and not serving you, because it's impossible to be a materialistic person and live in an RV. You just don't have room for stuff. A lot of people don't realize that this takes a significant amount of sacrifice and change if you want to be successful in doing it. A lot of people say that they feel even more free when they've separated themselves from addiction to materialistic things and unhealthy spending habits and financial habits. When you think about motivations for moving into an RV or living the RV lifestyle, you really have to assess, why do you want to do it? Do you want to do this because you want to travel more? Do you want to do this because you want to save money? Do you want to do this because there are really good job opportunities in a different area of the country and you're feeling very limited where you're at? All of these are good reasons. The reason I did it was because I had this 120-year-old home that I loved. I remodeled everything. I'm a big DIYer, and something changed in my life and I had to leave, and I knew that I would be going probably multiple places, and I was traumatized at the idea of not having my own space. That was consistently mine. I moved around a lot when I was younger, so when I did have something that felt like mine, I had a lot of ties to it. If that is something that bothers you, or you just don't like the idea of not having a place that's familiar, the RV life can be incredibly rewarding for you, because what it became for me was it became my home everywhere I went. Had to relocate for this job, had to relocate over here to test someplace. I went from the Midwest down to Texas, down to South Florida, then back up to the West Coast in Florida. And every single time I did this, my home was with me. That was the biggest reason that I chose this. And 2 years in, I absolutely love it, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So you have to really kind of assess what your why is. When you move into the RV, just understand that there are basic living essentials that are not provided. They don't come with the RV. So when you're thinking about what else do I need, it's not just the RV. You're going to need sewer hookups, you're going to need surge protectors, you're going to need everything basically to outfit the inside of your RV, your cleaning supplies, your cooking supplies, your cutlery, all this stuff, bedding, probably a new bed. These things are essential to keep the RV a place of comfort while you're on the road. And some people don't like having to unplug and disconnect everything and then to move it someplace else and then to unpack it and set it up. So that is something to consider about when you're making the decision whether or not this is right for you. And you also have to consider RVs are not like traditional sticks and bricks homes. Things rattle loose. Your appliances in here. If you took your stove from your house, put it on a trailer, and towed it 100 miles, I guarantee you're gonna have to make some adjustments to it before you get it to work again. Things like that you have to consider. An RV is going to be constantly adjusted. If you get a brand new RV, you're gonna constantly need to adjust it for the first year. There's going to be warranty work that you need to go through because it's a brand new thing and you're breaking it in. So if you go into it understanding that this work is essential and it's part of it, then you're going to be better suited to actually address it when you do have to deal with it. And then that kind of takes you into the financial aspect of the RV life. It's expensive at first. You're going to be having a brand new RV, whether you do a loan or whether you pay cash or anything like that. And then you have to have a tow vehicle if you have a towable RV. After that, then you're going to have to pay your tax, title, registration fees, and then you're going to have to buy a bunch of accessories for it. You can get a used RV for a few $1,000s that you might have to put more financial work into, or you can spend upwards. I mean, some of these RVs, I won't even get into the big Class C's that are like more than $500,000, but you know, a newer travel trailer can be anywhere from 40 to 60 grand sometimes. And so it's understanding these costs and understanding your financial situation, because like everything else, most of the time, if you're going to get yourself into a new situation, it's going to cost money to do so. And not everybody has a house that they can sell to do this. You know, you might be moving out of your parents' house, or you might have been laid off recently, so you're trying to downsize and you're already in a financially precarious situation. So it's just about kind of figuring out where you're at, what you can afford, and that's just the purchase, because once you have the RV, you're going to have to pay your travel. For instance, my truck, I drive an F-150. I get maybe 13, 14, 15 miles per gallon. When I am towing this, 9 miles per gallon. So you're going to have to pay to find a place to live unless you want to boondock off the grid. And boondocking is basically you don't have utilities, you don't have electrical or water hookups, you're just staying someplace. These costs add up. So all of this has to figure into your overall thought process on whether or not this is an affordable lifestyle for you. And the big thing that a lot of people don't realize is you don't have to go to an RV park that's super fancy that costs, you know, I'm in Florida, so I know some of these cost like $2,500 or more a month to live in. You can find something with bare bones amenities for, you know, $600 a month. And if you're like me, average rent where I live, if I was going to rent where I live, it'd be at least $2,500 a month. I pay $600 a month in a mobile home park to park my RV. So you can make it affordable. Budgeting and finances, this is going to be something you must be intentional about. If you're not big into watching and monitoring your budget, I'm going to tell you, if you go into the RV life and you're trying to make this huge change into an alternative lifestyle work for you, you more than likely will have to make some financial changes. And then when it comes to your living space, lifestyle adjustments, you have to adapt to be in a smaller space. And for some people, that's very hard. If you've lived in a 3-bedroom house, 2-bedroom house, you have junk, you've accumulated stuff. I'm going to tell you, an RV is not going to have room for it. So you're going to have to go through the emotional process of downsizing and getting rid of not just your stuff, but your way of living and your relationship with stuff to actually fit in a small space. And then it's about finding the RV that suits you, because some people can be very comfortable and happy in a very small RV. I am in a 34-foot travel trailer. This is perfect for me. As a single person that lives by myself, this is perfect size for me. I wouldn't go any smaller. That's my personal preference. So you have to consider that. Does that work with your lifestyle and who you are as a person? The other thing is, who are you doing this with? I'm doing it by myself, and I'm going to tell you, I don't get on my own nerves. It's a wonderful relationship I have with myself. Perfect. I highly recommend it. But some of us have spouses. Some of us have kids. And if you have a spouse and a kid, it's going to be a learning curve for you to learn how to share space, especially such small space, with other people. You can't get away from them. You have to really have open lines of communication with your loved ones so that there's mutual respect back and forth, so that boundaries are respected. Because the last thing anybody wants to do is to enter this lifestyle where the world is literally opening for you, and then the next step is immediately falling down into a divorce. That's an extreme, but you don't want to go down that road, so you have to be communicative with your partner. You have to be communicative with whoever you're doing this with. And before you even start doing this, make sure, is this a person who's my partner? Is this a person who works with me, who listens to me? Can I talk to them? Am I communicative enough? It's kind of that dynamic, and so you have to analyze that and assess that before you make a move like this, because if you have problems with your partner outside in a regular home, everything is going to be magnified when you're in this space with each other, unless you have healthy communication cadence with each other. So maintenance in your RV, like I said, it's kind of like a house that suddenly goes 60 miles an hour down the road. Things happen, things rattle loose, things have to be checked. Just like a house, you have to do sometimes weekly, monthly, quarterly, and then biannually or annually. Like, there are things that must be done in your RV. And this includes air filters, water filters, checking your water lines, servicing your brakes on your trailer, servicing your engine if you have a towable RV. All of this stuff can seem like a really big ask. And before you get into this lifestyle, you have to look at that and say, okay, can I do these things? Well, I'm going to tell you, you can do them. Maybe the better question is, do I want to do these things? If you are not a handy person, but you want to learn to be a handy person, join the crew. Join the RV crew right now, because you will learn so much. There is a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge. The RV forums are full of people who want nothing more than to help you. They love it. So if you want to do this, just know that that's going to be something that you're probably going to have to do, is learn how to be handy. Our job as RV enthusiasts and fellow RVers is to help them be more confident. So just understand your limitations, and understand that it's going to take work and trial and error, and you're going to be frustrated, but it's also so rewarding when you're problem solving and you're connecting with the community to find solutions for these problems. I'm a little biased. I have a blog. I think it's great. You can check out a link to it in the description, but there's courses. Again, I'm going to self-promote there too. There's a link to my course in the description here, but YouTube videos just like this one, forums, I mean, there's no shortage of people that want to help you. Another thing to think about is going to be weather and climate. In your normal home, you're in the Midwest, a tornado comes, you're going to go in your basement and hope that everything's all right. If you're in the hurricane area down here, you're just going to bunker down, or you're going to evacuate. In an RV, something as simple as high winds can be a problem. So you don't have a basement. You are mandatory evacuation. No matter where you're at, you have to leave your RV to go someplace safe. If you have really high winds, a lot of people move their RVs so they're headlong into the wind so that they don't get blown over to the side. Heavy rain systems, I mean, if you get a leak, you have to address it quickly before the problem gets a lot bigger. Some people don't like parking their RVs underneath trees if it's going to be a stormy night, stormy day, stormy week. So where weather might not normally be a consideration for you, it absolutely will be when you're in an RV. And then it's important to note that there are emotional and social aspects to RVing that are completely different. It is easy to become isolated depending on how you do it. I'm pretty introverted, and I don't ever feel isolated, but I know so many people that do. You have to make way more of an effort to make connections, to be part of a community. It's important for mental health to have these communities. And it's also important to pay attention to the relationships that matter to you, because when you live the RV lifestyle, if you're traveling, out of sight, out of mind. I'm horrible at it. I know other people are horrible at it. Sometimes we lose touch with the people that matter the most to us. And so it might be more of a challenge to maintain those relationships, and you have to make more effort in those relationships in order to make sure they keep flourishing. You really have to balance your time differently, especially if you're working in your RV. You don't want to spend 50% of your time on the road, 30% of your time sleeping, and then 20% of your time setting up and breaking down your RV, because then when will you live? One of the big things for me is a challenge that they never told me about. No one told me about this, was the challenges in finding a place to park. This depends on where you are. In the Midwest, you can easily find a place to park. Most states, depending on the season, you're going to find a place. I live in Florida. You will not find a place without a lot of hard work and a little dedication. The snowbirds in the retirement community comes down in the winter months, and they take up all of the RV parks in advance. So if you don't get a reservation a year, and I'm not even exaggerating, a year in advance, you will not have a place. It's just more difficult, and you'll also pay a lot less if you stay someplace longer. So that's a big thing too. You're going to pay less if you stay longer, but then you're staying in one place longer. Finding the perfect spot can be tricky, but if you plan and use the right resources, you'll always find a place. Just sometimes it's not exactly where you want. We went over some of the unexpected costs, financial strain of this lifestyle. Again, it's on a scale. It's what you make it. Things can break down. Some people like buying warranties because it gives them more peace of mind. Other people just risk it, and that's fine too. Another thing to think about is how you're going to make money. Not everybody can just have a remote job and just travel. And even if you do have a remote job and you can just travel, you have to remember that you are still going to be working your normal job while on the road. So you still were going to have not minimum, but you're still going to have less time than anybody wants for exploration and stuff like that. And if you have a traditional job, you might have to be stationary like I am for a significant period of time until you can actually figure out a more remote or hybrid type of way of living. And there's people that just do seasonal work. There's people that do work camping, people that freelance. I mean, the list of opportunities for earning on the road are endless, but they are things you have to consider. Some key takeaways from this: you just have to be prepared. You have to understand the basics of RV living. This is utilities, this is maintenance, and it's crucial for a smooth transition. This is not just expected expenses. You have to plan for the worst happening when you budget things. When something happens, take a moment, take a breath, and just say, okay, breathe, relax, and then look for your resources. Have those avenues that you go to when trouble hits. And that's going to make this, easier of a life for you. And if you're serious about making the leap to full-time RV living, I have something for you. I've created a comprehensive, in-depth course. It walks through everything you need to know about starting your RV life, everything that I wanted to know. Consider this video a teaser. So if you head over to the link in the description, find out more about the full-length course. It's packed with detailed information, step-by-step guides, and some just of my tips to help you avoid some common pitfalls and really make the most of your new lifestyle. So I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, leave me a comment if you have any questions or can think of a topic you'd like me to cover. Have a good one.